This book is so much fun. It is called Fast and Furry Racers, the Silver Serpent Cup, and this will quickly become a treasured book of your child's, especially if they're into vehicles and racing. So in this book, there are different types of vehicles. You have your water vehicles, your land vehicles, your train vehicle, and your air vehicles, and they all have their own unique characteristics to them that aren't your typical vehicle. And the text in this book is actually really nice. It's very well written with some rhyming words in it. And as I was reading this, I was wondering who in the world is going to win the race out of all these awesome vehicles. But they surprise you midway through the book because there is a villain, and the villain sabotages all of the racers and quickly pulls ahead. But in the end of the book, there's a surprise because of course the villain can't win. So I really love this book, and I think you would too. Here is Choose Your Own Journey, and this is such a unique and creative book. So you choose your vehicle and then you use your finger to follow along on the adventure. It takes you through towns, through the water, over bridges, through tunnels, up mountains, and every vehicle kind of has their own unique journey, and some of them end sooner than others. There are some flaps in the book, and there are also some holes in the book. And something that I really love about this book is that it has some hidden learning components to it. The kids are learning to go from left to right, and they are also learning how to follow along on a line, which is a great pre-reading skill. So definitely a fun, engaging book, and every time you read it, you have a different story, a different journey. So I highly recommend this, and I think you'll love it. Here I have I Want to Be an Astronaut and I Want to Be a Lion Tamer, and I really like these books. So basically, these kids are at home playing with everyday objects, and they use them to inspire them to be different types of people. So here we have our race car driver and a stunt man. There's a little bit of information on each of the pages of what they might do if they were doing that particular job. I love how these jobs aren't your typical ones that you might see. We have a deep sea diver, an adventurer, a submarine commander. All of these are adventure type based jobs. My favorite thing is at the end of the book. It says, I can be any of these things when I grow up, but I don't need to decide just yet. I can just dream of having big adventures. And then in this one, I Want to Be a Lion Tamer, it's all animal type jobs. So once again, they're at home with everyday objects, and they're pretending to be all these different types of people. I love how the book really encourages imagination and encouraging kids that they can do any of these things. And it also encourages conversation among families, because you can talk to them about what they might want to be when they grow up. And then you can also encourage them at the end of the book that they don't have to decide now what they want to be, that they can be any of those things, but for now they can just enjoy playing with them. Here is Usborne's 10 More 10-Minute Stories, and I'll let you take a peek at the contents. Feel free to pause your video if you need to. This book is packed full of lots of classic stories, and I love reading classics to my kids because I feel like the content is really good and there's also some really good lessons in them. In this particular book, the stories are not too long, but not too short either, and there's lots of great picture support. So I feel like this book would be good for 2 or 3-year-olds on up to even older kids as well. Here is Can I Join Your Club? And this has quickly become one of my new favorite books. It deals with a situation that is so common among children. Basically, there is a duck who's trying to make some new friends, and so he goes around to all these different animal clubs and asks to be a part of it. And all these clubs have requirements, and Duck just cannot live up to these requirements, and so he's told his application is denied. And so he goes around to some other animal clubs to see where he fits in, but he just cannot live up to the requirements. And so he ends up deciding to make his own club, and the only requirement to be in his club is that you want to be in it. So I think this is a great book to teach kids about including others and teaching them about empathy. You know, how is the duck feeling when he's told that he can't be in a club? Or how does Turtle feel once he realizes that he can be in the club and he doesn't have to do anything to be in the club? He just has to want to be in the club. So I think it's a great book that teaches kids how to deal with some situations situations that might be kind of tricky, you know, dealing with bullying or being included or excluded from things. So great conversation starter and a great book that teaches a wonderful lesson. This is one of my new favorite books, and it is called Nibbles, the Book Monster. And so it goes, this is a book about a little monster called Nibbles. So it has these fun little flaps on the pages, and it talks about how Nibbles chomps through everything, and there's little holes in the pages. And then he nibbles through books and he jumps into the book. So you see him jumping into Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And so he becomes a part of that classic tale. And then she eats her way out of the book. And then here Nibbles eats his way into Little Red Riding Hood and becomes a part of that story. And it's so fun that, you know, it's almost like a little book inside a book. And then we have these holes where Nibbles nibbled through. And here he nibbles through Jack and the Beanstalk. Nibbles his way out. And then here's his cage again. And then at the end of the book, Nibbles nibbled his way out of the back of the book. Such a fun book. I highly recommend it. Here I have a couple picture puzzle books, Cats and Dogs and Under the Sea. In our picture puzzle books, you're going to find illustrations packed full of tons of details. On each of the pages, there's questions and things that they ask you to find. These are the types of books that keep your kids occupied for quite a while, whether it's just looking through the pictures or searching for what they asked you to find. At the end of the book, they have the answer key. Here's Under the Sea. And what I really love about these books is they really help you practice your visual skills. You're trying to find things in clutter, working on visual discrimination, finding things in details, and those are all great skills to have in practice as you are learning how to read. This is called Look Inside Your Body, and this is a wonderful book full of lots of information about kids who might be curious about what the inside of their body is like. And it's got tons of different flaps along the way that your child can open. And this one's super neat. It's got a little pop-up and then another flap inside that flap. Here is questions and answers about animals, and this is a really fun book. It has tons and tons of flaps in it. It has a question on the outside. So this one says, how do bees buzz? And it says, with their wings, the sound comes from their wings beating 230 times each second. So it goes through different types of questions, like how questions and why questions, yes or no questions. So definitely a great book for kids who love animals or kids who just ask lots of questions and are curious about things. This is the complete book of Farmyard Tales, and this is a family favorite. It's a nice thick book. It comes with a CD that narrates all the stories, and it's actually kind of fun to listen to when you're driving in your car. It has a bookmark, 20 different stories, and what's really cool is it has this map in here, and this map shows all the different places that the stories take place. And here's the first story. It's considered a dual reader, so the top is simpler text around the first grade reading level, and the bottom is a little bit more complicated around the second grade reading level. On every page, there's a hidden duck that your child can find, and if you are running short on time, you know it's bedtime, you're tired, you can just read the top line of every page and the story is going to make complete sense. So this is definitely a family favorite and we love it. Here's Usborne's White Clean First Letters, and I'll let you take a little peek at the inside. So as you can see, the letters are kind of hidden throughout the pictures, which makes it fun for the kids to hunt for and practice writing them. And then at the end of the book, all of the letters are isolated, and then they can practice writing them on their own. And as you can see here, when you write on it, it erases very easily. Here I have Who's Next, Guess Who, and in this book your child has to try to figure out what animal is joining and what animal is leaving. So here I'll read, Tiger came next with his friend Dog. Who left? Guess who came next? Then your child can use the picture clues to figure out what animal is leaving and what animal is coming. It's a little bit harder as you go throughout the book because more and more animals are on the page. It's a great book for building vocabulary because there's all these different types of animals that come. And also a good book for thinking skills and reasoning skills and memory, because you have to remember and try to figure out what animals are coming and what ones are leaving. Here is first sticker book Trains, and in our first sticker books, the information on each of the pages is a little bit simplified and the stickers are a little bit bigger. So in these sticker books, you read the information and then you go to the end of the book, or sometimes in the middle, and then you find the matching sticker and then add it to the picture. And what I love about these sticker books is that once you have used up all your stickers, you can still enjoy the book because you can go back and read through all the information.